been an international break, but we're back. Cardiff City played Reading this weekend, and the view from the Ninian returns in victorious fashion. But we have made a replacement again. Ben Price, another holiday. He's on a stag do. I can't remember where. I think it's Valencia. So we've drafted in Ryan March. Ryan March, how you doing?
Morning, pop pickers. I'm good. Feeling fresh. Feeling good. We're top of the league, and I think that's a good thing.
It is a good thing, and you're on after a win for the first time.
This is huge, isn't it? This is huge.
Huge
a win,
moment.
but it's a win in which I saw people saying that Brian Barry Murphy has until the end of November to save his job on Twitter. So who knows what's going on?
We will talk about that later because I was amazed at all the negativity that I saw yesterday. But Tom, you're not amazed by the negativity because this is Cardiff City. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. And obviously being in Australia, I saw the negativity come in before you all. So I'm glad it's passed now.
Oh, he's getting ahead of the jokes.
It's a good joke.
It's huge.
You saw it earlier as well because the clocks have changed, haven't they?
Yeah, too early now, mate. That's the problem. So now we're too far. Don't like it.
It has been a few weeks since we've been back. The first question I have for you, Ryan, was how was the international break? Sum it up in a couple of sentences.
I fucking hated it. It was one of the worst ones for a long period of time, probably since the summer of discontent, the final moments of Rob Page's tenure. All around disliked it, disappointing, and yeah, glad for the first time in a long time. Glad to see club football back.
Oh, from an alternative way for me. Controversial.
But yeah, I know. But saying that as well, I still watched Penabont last weekend, who in the middle of the England and Belgium game lost 6-2 to TNS. So all things said, last weekend, football-wise, fucking dreadful.
Tom, what was your view on the international break from afar?
It went from being absolutely gutted I wasn't there because, watching Wales at Wembley sounds fun to being quite glad I could have a shower and go to work at 3-0 down. So yeah, got over that pretty quickly, to be honest. But yeah, it was pretty dreadful. But
I should
like Ryan's. Go on, Ryan.
Is the highlight of my international break seeing Ben James in the flesh.
You did see me in the flesh.
Always
a pleasure. I'll say, I hated the England game in so many ways. I think after the third goal, I quickly decanted to the bar where I ate a hot dog and just chatted with various people to re-emerge for the last 15 minutes. I was there at Wembley, but I probably watched 25 minutes of the football. But I'd like to shout out everyone I met. Oliver Rees with his flag. I committed a PR faux pas with Oliver Rees. He handed me his flag and said, "Can I have a photo with it?" And I didn't check what was on the flag. It could have been controversial, but it wasn't. No, it's fine. Oh. It's a lovely flag. Oliver Rees, lovely boy. Ninian Mike, lovely boy. Me and him just chatted all things Cardiff for about 20 minutes. I think I met someone called Jack. I met one of your friends, Tom Phillips, in bar 62 afterwards, who was like, "You know Tom Phillips." I had a photo with him, sent it to Tom Phillips. And that's what Wales Away is about.
That's what it's
Ryan
about.
March, seeing the boys, having a couple of lagers and having a good time.
And a pie.
And seeing a fight. And a pie. And a pie.
Lovely.
Donald's Pies. Shout out Donald's Pies. Lovely. Right. Amidst all that, because it has been the international break, during the semi-international break for the football teams, Tom, we played Newport in the Virtue Trophy. It was a 1-0 loss. Do you care?
Thought I did. Saw the result, kind of shrugged my shoulders, moved on pretty quickly. So my true feelings about that trophy have now come out. So no, don't care at all.
Ryan, the FA Cup draw happened as well for the first round proper for the first time since 2002. I think we're in the first round proper.
What's that been? 13 years?
13 years, mate. Matt is matting on that one. We could have had the lowest ranked team in the competition, Malden and Tiptree, step 4, same level as Walthamstow. But no, what is it? As Cardiff City, we got Peterborough in the same league, away from home. It's a big one, isn't it, Ryan?
Oh, it's absolutely massive. It is absolutely massive. And I can't wait. I'm frothing at the mouth for it. Not the gash, but the mouth.
Oh, you didn't have to say it. Tom, it is typically us, isn't it, that we drew a team in the same league as us who we've already played this season in the first round of the FA Cup.
Yeah, but it's also a team that we're not only playing in our league now, we've played loads over the years as well, and have beaten us quite a bit, even when they're shit. It's like the worst of all worlds. It's away from home as well.
Yeah.
To a shit all over ground as well. And yeah, there's nothing exciting about it whatsoever. Because like you're kind of building up beginning of the season thinking, oh yeah, first round proper, perhaps we'll get,
Truro, Gateshead.
Yeah, anything like that. But no, Peterborough it is. We'll lose 1-0. we'll move on with our lives and concentrate on the league again. But yeah, not much excitement there whatsoever.
No, let's concentrate on the league. Let's go to the Reading game that happened yesterday. Reading at home, a team we have played so many times over the years, Ryan, but feels like we haven't played them in a couple of years because of relegation, all that kind of stuff. But we're back with them. 4 changes to BBM starting lineup. Wintle out for the first time. Osho back in. All that kind of good stuff. Does it feel like, Ryan, that BBM is still trying to figure out what the hell his best team is?
Yes, I think he is. But I think he is dealing with a couple of niggles here and there as well, isn't he? Obviously, like Lawler's obviously injured as well, and that. And I don't know, it's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. There's a lot of football being played at the moment. So I don't know how much of it is just natural rotation, how much of it is him still trying to find his feet, and you don't know what goes on in training, you don't know fitness levels. But yeah, it does feel like we're still finding ourselves out a bit, and I think we'll get onto the actual performance and some of the performances over the last few weeks. I still think we're finding our feet. So all in all, the fact we're top of the league and still trying to find our feet in our best 11 and our best systems and stuff shows that we're in quite a good place. But yeah, I think he's still trying to figure that out, isn't he?
So I'm talking about the Newport game. There were some senior pros in that game who had what we can only describe as stinkers. Di Turnbull was one of those players, but he started yesterday in place of Wintle and didn't look too bad.
Yeah, I think I was a bit worried when I didn't see Wintle there, to be honest with you. I think he's been kind of the player who's like made us tick.
Yeah.
And like Turnbull has been like, I don't know, just flattered to deceive, isn't it? It's one of the ones we hope would kind of kick on and just hasn't. But like that Newport game, you can't really judge. You got someone who's just come straight from after school club to play. It's really hard to kind of like to get a bit of momentum in that game, isn't it? I think you could forgive some of the senior pros in that game because all kind of tactics and plays that you've done in training over the last kind of 6 weeks go out the window. But I do worry a little bit about our midfield. I think the chopping and changing the defence makes sense because, like Brian said, there's been niggles. You've got people like Osho he only came back into training on Thursday, I think Barry Murphy said. And then, I don't know, Lawler got injured as well at the Wales camp. So there's going to be rotation there. Chambers was the only fit centre-back. But midfield, I don't know if it's horses for courses, whether he can't decide who's the best person to play there. I think it's just, we're far from knowing exactly who's going to start each game. I don't know whether that's worrying or exciting.
I think with the midfield,
both, isn't it?
I think with the midfield, Ryan Wintle has had to play a lot more football than I think anyone expected because of Eli King's injury. Yeah. I think
that's true.
We probably had 2 players who could play that 6 role, and that was Wintle and King. And obviously, we've lost King for the season. And I think Wintle is pretty much the only deep lying, like out and out 6 that we've got. I maybe Colwell could do it. I don't know enough about Joel Colwell's game. For him, I've only really seen him in that 8 role that he plays. But yeah, I think that is a position of concern in terms of just depth. Whereas I think in plenty of other places on the pitch, we've got 2, maybe even 3 or 4 options. I guess Chambers is the other obvious one that could step in there, and maybe is probably better to keep him away from centre back.
But BBM is very clear that Chambers isn't going to play there, isn't he? Or he was in the summer at least. I mean, obviously, there's also the unknown question about Alex Robertson.
Oh yeah, the mystery man.
The mystery man who went away on international duty, didn't play there, but
Tony Popovic, way to go not to play, isn't it?
Yeah, very helpfully. Popovic said he has a situation at Cardiff that he wanted to get more information on. So there's clearly something going on with Robertson. But back to your point about Colwell, I think Colwell's an out-and-out 8. I just think the way he plays the game and the way his natural instincts are to run with the ball and try and get it forward, I don't think he could do the 6. He might in a few years, but I don't think he's disciplined enough yet to do the 6. I think he would leave a hole. We already mentioned him, Ryan, but Gabe Osho, he started the game, was unceremoniously dragged at halftime, and he seems to be. I did a Reading preview for their official website, and the one thing I said about Osho was he seems to have a ricket in him at all times, and he proved that in that first half with an absolutely dreadful pass that they almost scored from. What's going through his mind, Ryan? Is he thinking?
He's carnage, isn't he?
Yeah. He's obviously very good.
Yeah, because like there's a few moments, like he progresses the ball really nicely.
Yeah.
I think there was a moment early on in the game where he sent a diag.
I remember that diag.
Real dangers. And I thought that's the player you want to see, and he progresses the ball. But defensively and under pressure, he just doesn't really know what he's doing. And I don't know, you can't have a player with that many ricks in him. If it was happening once every month,
It
then
happens
it's like
twice a game.
yeah, exactly. And they're like spectacular ricks.
Yeah.
It's entertaining to a point.
The
But if
Bradford
it's going
one
to start,
still is fantastic in my mind.
yeah, if it's going to start costing us points, then it's problematic, isn't it? But yeah, it's weird. I know we'll talk about Pysgod, but I think our best centre back pairing and safest centre back pairing is the one that we played at the start of the season that weren't conceding goals. Funnily enough,
Yeah.
Pysgod and Lawler, and I know obviously Lawler's had a knock. So yeah, he's a really interesting one because I think he's got all the attributes to be a really top centre half. He's quick, he can pass the ball, but the actual defending part and the actual under pressure part does feel like there's a bit of a weakness in his game, and maybe that's why he's all of a sudden playing League One football rather than top end Championship football.
Yeah, and Tom, that kind of uncertainty seemed to spread throughout the team. Really, Reading were the better team in that first half. We just didn't look like we were getting anything on the ball. Reading had a free kick that hit the bar for Colwill, deflection. They had the chance that came from Osho, and obviously their goal, which we'll talk about. But it just felt like, I don't know, it felt like we were really disjointed in that first half. Tom, did you feel the same?
Yeah, definitely. And it's not the first time I felt like that. I think there's been times throughout this season, really. I think people are saying now our performances are kind of getting worse, but I'm not sure they are. I think we were like this really early doors, but kind of getting away with it. And we're still doing exactly the same thing, really. I think we're going to be hot and cold. We've got a young team. Like we haven't found our feet, like Ryan said earlier on. And just as long as we're getting the results at the end of it, it doesn't really matter. Perhaps it'll catch up with us later in the season, but I think we've still got plenty of room to get better. I don't want to jinx it. I don't think Osho's going to get worse. But he's got so many mistakes in him. But he can. But you can see why he's being played right. It's because of those progressive passes. Yeah, you can see he's doing the passes that BBM wants. It just happening to go to their strikers at the moment. So if he can finesse that little bit of it, fine.
Yeah, get him to our strikers instead.
Exactly right. It's small margins, isn't it? By about 70 yards. But I think we'll come good. I think it's not ideal having Fish had a knee injury. You can see he was completely strapped up in that game when he came on as well. People aren't fully fit at the moment. And we've played a lot of football. We played them in this massive runs of games and then an international break where nothing happens for a while. And I'm not sure if that's helping us at all at the moment because what do we lose? 19 players throughout the club during an international break? It's not ideal. A lot of clubs in our league aren't
losing any
players go. Yeah, exactly right. So you work and stuff on the training pitch. We're not doing that. And then we're dealing with the injuries that come back as well. So, as long as we're picking up those points, as long as we're getting ourselves back into games, I think the fact we're coming from behind continuously, that is something we haven't done in the past. We've gone seasons without doing it, I think, at times. So I'm seeing it as a positive at the moment, the fact that we're carnage rather than a negative.
I think on the international breaks, it has definitely stunted our momentum. Obviously, as an international football apologist like I am, September, October, November is the most wonderful time of the year because it's just boom, boom, boom. But from a club football perspective, especially if you're not involved in international teams, it is probably hugely frustrating because just as you get into a little rhythm, 3 or 4 games on the bounce, it gets pulled again for the next international break. I know they're changing it next year because they're going to have the mega international break.
End of 4 games in a 3-week window, isn't it?
End of September into October. So they're combining the September-October one, which I think is a positive because I think as a player, not so much at this level because your season tends to start a couple of weeks earlier, but especially Premier League, you were starting mid-August and then all of a sudden you have 2 games and then you're on an international break. So it does give you a bit of chance to get up and running and maybe not stunt that momentum as much because I think we have suffered from it because obviously I think that Burton game, we would have won that Burton game if we'd played it on that Saturday, I believe, because we were on fire at the time. And, coming back then was that Stockport game where we looked really turgid, really slow, really leggy. And I don't know what happens in these breaks. I'm assuming BBM has most of them on the grass, but when really our most important players this season have been the Colwills, Capaccio, Lawler, who aren't there aren't involved, and then come back, especially, I imagine Bellamy sessions aren't the
Not easy,
easier
are they?
sessions. It's not a rest for them, is it? And with the added traveling, it's probably quite hard to then get back into the frame of mind so quickly, because they would have joined back up on Tuesday after Monday. I know none of them played any. Kapaki had a few minutes in Wembley, didn't he? And I thought actually looked pretty good, all things considered. And it's probably quite hard to sort of shift that focus straight back into going again on Saturday. So, yeah, I don't envy the players, because it has been quite a frustrating couple of months in terms of that stop-start. And yeah, we just got to ride through till November, and then after that, I think we're good to get stuck into that Christmas period and hopefully really start pulling away in that, especially from the playoff, the cut off of the playoffs. And I think that's the aim, isn't it? Let's just keep getting by for now. Let BBM figure out all these little ricks and these problems, and then come November the 16th or whatever it is after the international break, we can just get our heads down and just start juggernauting into Christmas, hopefully.
Oh, I can't wait to juggernaut into Christmas. Let's talk about their goal, Tom. It was, I think, what can best be described as a pot shot, straight down the middle. Who are you blaming for that? Should people be getting out quicker to him? Should Chambers have done more with the block? I know the ball swings left to right, so Trott's a little bit unsighted. Chambers is kind of in his way. Is there anyone to blame, or is it just one of those things?
One of those things. I think,
Right.
like you said,
Move on.
Move on. No, I think when they're shooting from distance, there most of the time you encourage them to do it, right? And it's just unfortunate. It takes a deflection. It's the only way you're going to beat Trott at the moment as well, is if you just can't see the thing. And actually, I'd probably back him most of the time when he can't see the thing as well. Unbelievable. But I think, yeah, if they're shooting from there, normally as a defender, you're thinking you're fine here, you've got it covered. But I think it's just unlucky. I think you could pick holes and stuff like that, but we're making plenty of other mistakes that we don't need to pick holes in shots from 35 yards.
It's a mad goal, isn't it? It's a proper, because I didn't see it come in. It came out of complete nowhere in terms of
almost 40 yards from goal.
The shot really wasn't on.
To shoot from there.
He was in space, but I don't think. I would say 21 of the players on that pitch yesterday wouldn't have shot from that distance.
No,
when that ball drops to them like that, and it wasn't a particularly good shot, but it's such a five-a-side goal.
Yeah,
it's such a goal that someone just does in five-a-side, and you catch it in a way that makes it move slightly, and the deflection, and it's just it just catches people off guard. It caught me off guard. So yeah, it's a freak goal, and sometimes you just got to say fair play. But we've conceded a couple of freak goals this last few weeks, haven't we? I mean, that Don Ballard one, the more I saw that after the Leyton Orient one, I don't know how much of it the bend is wind assisted, but that is one of the maddest curves on a ball I've seen.
Yeah. It's
maybe
going
ever.
So far wide when he hits it, and it just kind of dropped into that corner. And the goal yesterday was the same. If you watch it from behind, it goes left and then right so quickly, and Trott's moving with the ball, which is what he has to do.
And he's got the two defenders in front of him,
and he's got the two defenders, and then it just cuts back inside, and it's like, oh, when you watch it in real time, you go, why has that happened? Then you see it from behind, and you go, okay, that makes a lot more sense now. Trott's gone early because he has to, because it's a shot from 40 yards. And it's cut back the other way almost instantly, and it's like, okay, he's been wrong-footed because of that. Talking about their keeper, Ryan, just before halftime, he made a save from Yusuf Salak that was quite good, but they celebrated that save as if they just won the league. It was 41 minutes into the game. He turned, and this is the funniest part, he turns and pumps his fist to the fans and realizes about halfway through what he's doing and goes, oh, I'll go back. Was it too early for that nonsense?
No, you know what? I respect it in a way, because if I do something good in five-a-side, which is rare, if anyone I play with is listening,
I played with you, Ryan. Rare. It's very rare.
Yeah, very rare. But you get a buzz off it, don't you? You do get a buzz off it, and you give yourself sometimes yeah, that was good, wasn't it? Haven't quite fist bumped the trees yet.
Still fun.
I don't know. Let people have it. If that's your natural reaction, that's your natural reaction. I don't want to be the celebration police. I think people over analyze celebrations. Just let people enjoy themselves. But
I will not do that. It was easy to look a bit silly afterwards. Tom, at halftime, your boy Will Fish with Pysgod, he made his ceremonial and fated entrance to the game. I don't really need to hide how much of a fan I am of Will Pysgod. I still think he's potentially future Cardiff captain material. And I have said that for the last couple of seasons. Since he's been here, really. Is BBM taking him for granted? Because he's the man who seems to be the fall guy whenever there's a change. It's Lawler and somebody else rather than Fish and somebody else that seems to be the change. But he comes on and he shores us up every time, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't think he's a fall guy as such. I think he has a knee injury. He's had niggles himself. And we've got players there to swap in and out. I get why Osho's playing with the progressive football. I'm not sure Fish has quite got that in his locker. But when we do need to shore it up, like you said, he's the ideal candidate to start in that position. I think when you're at home in a game like that against Reading, you don't mind starting with a progressive centre-back there and kind of risking it a little bit. It just didn't work out for us. And then he's the ideal man to come on, right? And that's where BBM's great. If it isn't working, he'll make a change at halftime. He's not scared of substituting people. He's not scared of substituting substitutes. He doesn't mess about. So, I'm not going to doubt it at the moment. I think 5-6 games time, I wouldn't be surprised if Fish is the one starting these games and Osho being on the bench because he can't keep making mistakes like he is and continuing to play. But yeah, I'm in the same camp as you. I think Fish is an absolute Pysgod is an outstanding player. And I think he's one of those ones, right? He could be around for 4 or 5 years and become a bit of a club legend because he's just so unassuming and gets the job done. And he'll pop up with a few goals. And we'll come on to it later, absolute game-changing moments as well. So yeah, I've got a lot of time for the guy.
Ben, can I ask when Will Pysgod wins Player of the Season?
Will
Pysgod wins Player of the Season when he does. I want you to be there first and foremost, and I want a photo of you holding him like a Pysgod. I want like that.
Yeah.
All right. Holding him like that. I want that photo if he wins Player of the Season.
Well, look, the campaign for Will Pysgod to win Player of the Season starts now, and the campaign to get a few of us. We can all go, and we can all have in a line. Because
obviously, he's a normal-sized human being, isn't it? You're not going to be able to do it yourself, albeit you are 6'4" and hunky and stacked.
That's very nice.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to do it by yourself.
We could all go. We could all wear fish masks while we do it. I don't know.
We'll wear waders and the full fisherman outfits. Yeah, and we're on the dance floor. God, a video of you on the dance floor doing the fish thing.
It's escalated
with Pysgod, and then you hold him like that.
All right, yeah. Well, the campaign for that starts now. Ryan has set the starting gun on that campaign. Will Pysgod for Player of the Season, a photograph of us holding him like a fish, and us doing the fishing dance on the dance floor at the Player of the Year Awards.
Dressed as fishermen.
Well dressed like fishermen in waders, and with tackle kits and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's going to happen. That is going to happen. But Tom, back to the game, not back to May and the Player of the Season awards. The game turned around pretty quickly in the second half. Kelly Munman with the equaliser. First, are we starting to see his quality? And secondly, it was just a really good team goal, wasn't it? When you watch it back, it kind of went from back to front really quickly. We were very incisive with our passing, got the ball into Kellyman, who took a shot and put it away. It was just a really nice goal to see, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's the type of goal we've scored a few times this season, and that's why we've been excited, right? Is that team kind of goal building from back to front. But I think Kellyman said it himself that he's starting to trust his body a bit more now. He's had long layoffs of injuries as well. And if he does find his feet and kick on, then we're going to benefit massively from that. We're seeing glimpses of that quality. And yeah, it's not the perfect struck goal. And, it's not completely clean, but he's getting in those areas and he's not afraid to shoot. And if he keeps popping up with goals, he's going to get more and more confident. And he's too good a player for this league. So if we get anywhere near the best out of him, then we're going to absolutely batter teams at times because he's a class act. So, yeah, I'm excited to see him to start, like you said, start to trust his body a bit more because I expect a lot from this player, coming closer to Christmas.
Yeah, I think he could almost be a real kind of asset going forward. I think when you see that he can play left and right foot, he can play off the wing, he can play centrally. He gives us a different dimension, I think, that other players don't have. And I think with injuries and the amount of games that we'll have coming up over the Christmas period, he could be a little bit of a cheat code. Talking about other cheat codes, Ryan, Yusuf Salek got, I think, his 5th goal of the season. Had a few chances in the game, but got his goal not long after. Again, another really good move started by Will Pysgod. driving run by Isaac Davis to kind of make the angle and get the ball across. It's just good to see a striker scoring regularly for us, isn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, he's hitting his stride a bit now, isn't he? Which obviously we were a little bit frustrated, and he was very frustrated, I think, in the early parts of the season. But obviously he got his goal against Orient. He got a goal today. And I was saying this to the Right Honourable Ben Price when I was sat by him at the Leighton Orient games. As you should be, always referred to as. That, like, it's so nice to have a striker, especially as a winger or an attacking player, that you can just put the ball in the box and he will attack it, and like he can score. Like the header against Orient was just like boom, just put it in the right position and he attacked it and scored. And again, it's a similar position, albeit with his feet this time. That sort of like front corner of the 6-yard box where he can just find that space and put the ball in the back of the net, and that is absolutely invaluable. And I think his build-up play needs a bit of work, and I think his hold-up play isn't particularly great. And I think that's where maybe he's cut a frustrated figure this year. But like when you do put that ball in like the penalty spot area, in and around the 6-yard box, he is one of the best in the league and one of the best we've had for a long time in just being able to get something on that ball and a lot of the time put it in the back of the net. And and he's still young, so that part of the game will hopefully, the parts he's lacking in his game will hopefully come. But the hard part of being a striker, we've seen, not to take it back too much to the international break and not to sort of, take it back to skeletons in our closet, but we've seen someone like Mark Harris, for an example, who's a great off-the-ball runner, works really hard, is a good presser, which is why he's getting into Bellamy's team, but he can't put the ball in the back of the net. He isn't a goal scorer, but he's a striker. So that other part of Salek's game can be worked on and will come in time. I think he's only 23, 24 still, isn't he?
Young boy.
Yeah, so he's scoring goals and being able to put the ball in the back of the net, and I think that is the most important thing, especially when you've got the players around him now: Kellyman, Willock, Colwills, and the other, and Davis and Ashford, and these talented lads. Robinson, I really like when him and Robinson played together against Orient for that period of time.
Yeah, it worked, didn't it?
It worked, and he's just, the more hopefully that, I think we were trying to overplay sometimes in those areas where it's just get to Salek in the box and let him score. And yeah, I think it's huge, and I think he's enjoying himself. So hopefully he doesn't score too many that it alerts some people in January, but enough to keep us ticking over.
I was going to say something mental then. He reminds me a little bit of Peter Thorne in the box, in a sense that he seems to just be able to put the ball in the net. But he doesn't remind me of Peter Thorne in his hold-up and flick-on play, because sometimes he's not the best at that. But I don't want to go too far on Yusuf Salek. Tom, did you know that at a point yesterday, only 2 teams around the league had conceded more goals than us at home? Did you know that?
I did not, so thank you for letting me know. Really appreciate it.
Burton and Blackpool. It's now also Plymouth. Sorry, Aaron Hocking. But they have all conceded 10. We've conceded 9 goals at home now. And yet, away from home, we've only conceded 1. What do you think about that, Tom?
It's good stuff, isn't it? Away from home.
Really
look at the positives. That's normally harder. So there we go. Let's sort the home bit out. But I think there's more pressure at home, right? I think there's an expectation from our fan base now, as we'll get on to later on. So I don't know, we struggle at home sometimes. I think the pressure's on. We're expected to go and beat these teams like Burton, and we're just not doing it. So away from home, I don't know, it kind of suits the way we're playing at the moment. Teams are coming at us a little bit more. We're breaking them down, and we're pretty sure at the back. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with it being that way around. I feel like it's easier to fix your home from than it is your away.
And how important is Nathan Trott to all that, Tom? Obviously, he, I don't think the first goal was his fault, but he made some big saves again yesterday to keep us in the game. I know we talk about it almost each week ad nauseum, but we haven't had a keeper like him for a long time, have we? Who is just so competent.
Yeah, and our defensive unit are really putting him under pressure to do it as well. It's not as if like we're completely dominating games he's got nothing to do. He's making game-winning saves constantly. He's like unbelievable moments, like constantly. And yeah, he's just a fantastic keeper. And you're thinking earlier in the season, Turner played well in a game, and you're like, oh, will Trott get in? Well, that conversation is long gone, because he's probably top-end championship, at least, as a goalkeeper. Yeah. We've got an absolute gem here. And, people are saying on Twitter, like, we would have conceded a lot more goals if it wasn't for him. But luckily, he's part of that defensive unit, and he is saving our skin constantly. But, yeah, he's an unbelievable talent. And again, another player that we've got that's far too good for this level, because it's week in, week out. He's pulling out these moments. It's not once a month. It's unbelievable from him.
Let's talk about game-winning moments, Ryan. We've already talked about him ad nauseum. We're ready to see him at the end of the season awards in our arms, but with Pysgod with a defensive block for the ages yesterday. He just is good at doing the basic shit, and that block is football IQ off the charts, isn't it? He anticipates the situation to get behind Trot. He sees the danger, and he somehow gets a foot on it. How crucial and how good was that block to you, Ryan?
Oh, it's invaluable, isn't it? It's invaluable. I think they're worth. That's worth turning to your home fans and giving the old fist bump in the air, isn't it? And you know, it's
like that.
Yeah, it's all part of the game, isn't it? And it's a part of the game that I think does go underrated and under the radar in terms of just, defending really fucking well, and also defending like that wins you points. And it doesn't happen enough, maybe. But yeah, it was brilliant and great wherewithal from him to be in that position. And you say, like, he's good at the simple stuff, and like, I think that is such a underrated attribute now, isn't it? Just being good at the simple stuff, because like
heading the ball, tackling players, and making blocks.
When you look at when you have numbers managers like BBM, who probably is big into the stats. He's looking at progressive passes, sprinting, and all these sort of like these newfangled data. And I don't want to get too sort of like fucking, we should be a bit long, blah, 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 blah. Modern football's rubbish, XG shit. But sometimes you can't overlook those simple, things that make defenders really good. And I mean, I don't want to get too deep on this now, but like, there's a problem. I think there's a problem, especially in South Wales. When if you look at the Cymru Premier, in the lack of centre backs, in terms of like, there's some great centre backs coming out of the academies, but they're all under 6 foot. They're good footballers. They're quick. The old-fashioned head it, tackle it, chuck it in the channel when you need to. It doesn't exist anymore. And the academies aren't churning them out like they used to. And I think that is a part of the game which is still underlooked, because you can't pass sides to death all the time, and you can't rely on trying to pass at the back, as Osho is proving. And I think that is what Will Fish adds to this team, and it is a huge, and maybe why he's the guy that is pulled out, when an Osho or Lawler or Chambers is fit. And I think that hopefully, as all things, football is secular, isn't it? Let's hope that the Will Fish Renaissance and the old-fashioned defender Renaissance keeps happening, because it's invaluable, and it won us points yesterday.
Well, look, I play very casual football with people, and all the centre halves want to do now is pass the ball to the midfield and run and get the pass back. And it's like, come on, lads, you just need to, we're playing Parks football. You just need to do the basic shit in Parks football. You're not Rodri, you're not Ruben Diaz.
Yeah.
Or you should just be heading the football and getting it away.
The funny thing then, as soon as Brian started speaking about that, I knew you'd link it to you playing in Parks football. It was always coming. It was never in doubt.
It was an inevitability.
Yeah.
I like it, man. I think it's charming.
Thank you, Ryan. I'm glad someone does. Tom, and that result puts us top of the league. But you wouldn't know it, would you? People are pretty unhappy.
We are top of the league, despite Stevenage having a game in hand. That should be the chant.
That is the chant.
We're not top of the league.
Get the caveats in. There's not enough caveats in chants.
No, there isn't.
Well done. Call it out. Well done.
We are top of the league, despite Stevenage having a game in hand.
Yeah.
Go on, Tom.
They have a greater points per game than us.
Hooray!
Yeah. I don't like being top of the league.
Here we go.
No, I'm joking. It is weird, though, because it does feel like we've gone through a bit of a blip recently. And we're top of the league. So, games in hand, got to win them, all those cliches. At the moment, like, teams are losing all over the place. There's some really strange results in League One. Like, when you look at that, like, playoff picture, there's teams that would probably be pointless answers on pointless if they asked to name clubs in the 92. There's clubs you wouldn't expect to be in there. There's going to be so many twists and turns. And the fact that we're sitting there at the moment is great. because we're the ones to catch now. And we are a fairly big name, and seeing us there will be quite intimidating to some other clubs. Like, we could easily be Luton, we could easily be Plymouth in this situation. So to see our fan base kind of absolutely lose their shit and kind of like the negativity and we're not playing that well, just enjoy it.
It's fucking insane.
Like, we're top of the league, man. We've been shit for so long, and now we're hell bent on not enjoying being good. I'm like, just come on, lads. Just enjoy it for a bit.
How many teams have come down and got stuck in this league? The amount of people when we were getting relegated going like, bloody hell, I worry that, about how next season goes or what happens, we could struggle to stay up next year, blah, 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 blah. Fucking hell, we're top of the league. We've got a core of a squad of academy players. It hasn't been this good for a long, long, long time. And yeah, we had a bit of a silly half. And we had a bit of a silly half against Leyton Orient. But this manager has been in charge, 4 months or whatever it's been. He came late because of the bloody how long the ball took. He's made two sign-ins, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Like, and he's using young lads who are playing mainly their first games in senior football, and they look unreal. Lola Capacchio spring to mind. Just chill out and enjoy the ride. We're not going to win every game. We're not going to blow teams away every week, but we're going to blow teams away more. What's that?
I was trying to think, when was the last time we were top of the league? Probably under Warnock at some point.
Yeah, well, the year we got promoted,
the year we went
probably.
Up.
In the early part of the season.
Have we ever hit top of the league since then? I don't think we have.
No.
Not even for a brief period.
It's brilliant. Being top of the league is brilliant. We are top of the league chant is one of life's great chants. Just enjoy it, for crying out loud. And I miss the negativity, for God's sake. But we're top of the league.
Negativity.
I think as well, we're like 6 points clear of 7. We've got a game in hand over some of those teams as well. That, like you mentioned earlier on, that's the gap we want to keep looking at. Right?
Yeah.
Is that playoff picture. First of all, we want to cement ourselves in that top 6, because it's not a foregone conclusion that we're going to stay at the top of the league. And then we can start to go like, are we going to stay top? Are we going to stay top 2? But like, to be in this position with that gap at this stage of the season, when there's clearly more to give, when we've had some performances that are being below par, you can only look at it as a positive. Well, sorry, you should only look at it as a positive. I think we're just so used to misery as a fan base.
Yeah,
we're just nervous to be positive about stuff. And you're gonna get the odd mad tweet where people are looking for a reaction. And I'm happy they do it because it gives us something to speak about. But you've got to enjoy this. Otherwise, there's no point in watching football at all. Because it's only down from first. Apart from getting promoted, obviously. But just enjoy it. Because we're going to have some terrible performances. We're going to have some great performances. We've got a young team. And at the moment, it's working for us. So, yeah, I'm more than happy with it.
Look, this is very unscientific, but it looks like the last time we were top of the league was 2017-18, match day 6. And then we dropped to second after that. I haven't gone through everything, but that's just while you were talking, I was having a little look. So there, I think we should all be happy. But let's go to Twitter and see what people are saying. Twitter.com/the Ninian. Thomas Taylor, I don't think I'm overreacting when I say Pysgod might be the greatest defender to ever play football. Anthony Jones is really happy to hear BBM's comments on supporting Osho through his tough period. There's definitely a player there that obviously needs a bit of man management to get him through a tricky spell. Chris Ashman, hope you have a positive pod, but that first half, here it comes, Tom, is officially the worst I've seen this season. Hoping BBM is learning who his best 11 is while we keep scraping results against the poor teams in this league. What do you make of that, Tom?
We keep scraping results against the poor teams. Fine, let it carry on. And the reason that was a poor performance is because the other performances have been quite good. So, you can flip it whatever way you want to flip it. And if it continues to happen, I can see why you start to get worried. But we're top of the league, and if it carries on, we keep churning results out. I don't care how we win them.
We've also got a game in hand on a lot of teams. I just realised.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got a game in hand on most of this division. I think Stephen has just somehow got 2 games in hand on most teams. We've got 1.
Yeah.
Because most teams are on about 13 and we're on 12. Stephen is on 11.
Yeah.
John T.M. Williams, why can't we start Pysgod and Lawler? I accept Lawler has an injury, but when fit, we look far more solid defensively. Reece CCFC, Pysgod, I was right behind that goal line clearance. I still can't get my head around how he kept it out. Trot, some absolutely brilliant saves to keep us in it again. Osho learned his trade at the Gabor Japesh School of Defending. Michael Davis, next game I'd start Winterland Fish, replacing Osho and Joel Colwell. Davis combined well with Capaccio too. Di Richards, Vegas correspondent, friend of the pod. You'd swear we were mid-table judging by this app. Obviously, we could be better, but we found a way to win. Also, I found the guy with the CCFC license plate who lives near me in Vegas. We exchange Ayatollahs while driving. World peace shall follow. Tom's pumping his fists there. Don't forget, we're top. Lee Spear, we're still waiting to see the best of this side, yet somehow find ourselves top. Much more to come, and I think this younger side, the young manager, will only improve. MJCCFC, it's becoming a big issue where first halves are spent waiting for half time, where we'll turn up second half kicking towards the canton. Oliver Rees, there he is, my mate. Wasn't at the game today as I'm in Benidorm, but met Ben at Wembley for the England game, so everything okay. In brackets, this is the thing. Ben is a lovely fella in person. I'm a bit of a prick behind the screen, but in person, I'm a lovely fella. Nice to see you, Oliver. It was good to chat. Gigi the Bluebird, Pysgod has been our best CB, so has to be our first CB on the team sheet. Lawler is incredible, but he's had a few injuries already, so he needs to be managed carefully. Baz, Osho should be first choice centre-back. Drew says, grateful for 3 points. What are your top 3 Cardiff goalkeepers you've seen play? Ryan, top 3 Cardiff goalkeepers?
Ooh, Tony Warner, Dimi Constantinopoulos, and
Bywater.
Stephen Bywater. Yeah.
Tom?
That was never going to be a serious answer, was it? Neil Alexander, David Marshall, and Erwin Sack.
Erwin Sack.
Neil Alexander, first man on the moon. That's really bad.
That's
Sorry.
really shit.
Really
That's
bad.
terrible.
No, but serious answer, I will say. Do you know what? I know it was only a month, but I was obsessed with Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, I was same here.
I loved that. Neil Alexander was the goalkeeper of my childhood.
Same here, yeah.
And I think Nathan Trott's going to be up there now. You know,
Yeah,
he's fucking brilliant.
I'll go Seamus Kelly, Di Marshall, and I'm going to go Nathan Trott already. I think he's up there.
Yeah.
I mean, Seamus Kelly didn't really play for that much, but he made a point-blank save when Cardiff drew 0-0 with Scunthorpe to get promoted, I think, in 1999.
Harsh on George Wood there, Ben.
Well, I don't really remember George Wood.
I know.
I might be older than you, Ryan, but I'm not that old, pal.
He was goalkeeping coach when I remember him being goalkeeping coach when I started.
He was goalkeeper coach, yeah. Georgie Wood. Nice man. I met him a few times. Really nice man. Reece Spear. Can never remember if you're related to Lee Spear. Is that Reading kit worse than our third kit? Owen Davis. Pysgod, Capaccio, excellent. Trot outstanding as usual standard. Osho looks excellent, then keeps having his mad moments. Gordon's Lightfoot, let's talk about Trot and where we would be without him. And GG Bluebird again says, I don't normally make 2 posts, but I realised both Reading and Leyton Orient had 26 got shots on goal against us. We're making Trot earn his weekly wage. Michael Scolapo says, when are we going to start transferring all his possession into urgency in games? My eye rolls per match stats are breaking all known previous records, but for Trot and Pysgod, we'd have lost with 70% possession. Tom Lang, I just dropped my phone and Trot managed to save it. If not for him and Pysgod, we shipped 6 today. Once Lawler is back, Osho has to go to 4th choice. Never seen too many mistakes, and the smile after it happens makes it even more frustrating. 3 points, top. Big up the boys. Matt Bluebird says, yes, Fish did well with the clearance, but he also misjudged 2 balls over his head, and if not for good saves, would have been caught out. It goes to show just how good Lawler is and how much we miss him. All right, let's all be a bit negative about Will Fish all of a sudden. ECFC Joe, good win. Reading probably played their best football today. Do our fan base expect us to batter every team we play? Can't understand all the negativity. 9182 EM, Bagan and Osho shit show. Chambers, Trot, Capaccio run the show. Rick Lewis says, with Pysgod is fit and available, shouldn't be dropped again this season. The same applies with Dylan Lawler too. I hope that the manager has now realised this after a horror show from Osho. Horror show. We don't mind how we win so long as we get there, and that was 3 very big points. Chris Watts says, tripped and fell and somehow landed top of the league. Midfield 3 was shambolic. Gaps everywhere, no urgency. When we use our pace, we terrify defenders. We don't just do it enough. Richard Endicott, I live in Royal Berkshire. I can't bloody wait for work on Monday. I don't care. It was a bit jammy. And them lot up the road here probably deserve the draw. Stuff them. Viva Nathan Trot. Sven, Fish has got to be starting every week at the moment. Really good again when he came on. Good teams find a way to win when they're not playing great. And that's us at the moment. Top 3 places you visited in the world. Ryan.
Oh, Beijing. Tallinn in Estonia. And I want to say Cape Town, maybe South Africa. That was pretty great place.
Tom Phillips?
Reykjavik, Grindelwald in Switzerland. It's just one of the most beautiful places, and obviously Carmarthen.
Oh,
Boo.
said that with such a straight face as well. Then
I fucking mean it. Why? Do you not believe me or what?
no, I don't. That's the problem.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm going to go Tokyo, Cape Town, and then one of LA or Minnesota. I'll
Pick one, you
go
coward. There we go.
LA. Yeah. Minnesota's great, though, because everyone speaks like they're in Fargo. Dino, Robertson has to start playing. Discuss. Tom, as the Australian correspondent, does Robertson have to start playing?
And I think it's abundantly clear he doesn't. I mean, it's weird, don't get me wrong, but we've got enough there without him. Like, he's clearly a quality player. There's something there, but something's not right. And if he's going to come in and completely ruin the vibe or, completely throw the tactics out the window, then I don't want to see him anywhere near the pitch. And clearly a decision's been made that it's not going to work for us, him being anywhere near it, so keep him away.
It's one of those funny things that football fans do, like trying to find a scapegoat. There's always a player that everyone has to clamour for that isn't involved.
Danny Ward, wasn't it? Danny Ward when it was
and it's like, and I get it, because I think as football fans we all try and find these things to keep us interested and keep us excited, but he's clearly not involved for a reason, and I don't think we're missing him. I don't think he comes in and all of a sudden we're like a much much better team.
No,
and there's a reason why he's not playing. So I'd like to think that old Brian knows what he's doing, and he wouldn't have just be dropping him for a laugh, would he?
Well, he sees him every day in training, doesn't he? So you've got to take that into account. Does he?
This is the thing.
Ooh, do. So Twilight Zone, Halloween is but 11 days away. Sellers, we are slow and backwards we concede. We play with urgency and speed, we score. Hopefully BVM will learn that now. Alex OS, what type of fish best describes Will Fish? Beer battered cod, turbot, haddock. I think he's a bit of he's a lovely bit of salmon for me, because you can't go wrong with salmon. Delicious. It's versatile. And it's solid. Tom?
Yeah. Cod. Just, you know what you're getting. Straight down the middle. Like, no messing. Consistent. Can't go far wrong. Nothing flashy. So, yeah, something like that, probably.
Ryan?
Sea bass. One of my favourites. It's versatile. You can have
a sea bass man.
Yeah, I'm a big sea bass man. It's a crispy skin.
I do love a crispy.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a sea bass man, because you don't like hot drinks and weird shit like that. I thought it'd be fish fingers and fish fingers only with you.
No. I like meaty fish. My favorite fish is swordfish. I've had swordfish, and that is a delight.
That is, you surprise me, Ryan, in so many ways all the time.
Well, I've got depth, Ben. I've got depth, and I've got layers.
And in other ways, you're very shallow.
A shallow fried sea bass, lovely.
No hot drinks. So weird.
No hot drinks. No, I strictly drink two. I literally take it on two liquids only:
water and Pepsi Max.
Coke.
Oh, Diet Coke. Sorry,
Diet Coke. Get it right, mate.
Of Diet Coke. I will have a Pepsi Max, a Coke Zero, only when classic Diet Coke isn't available.
Look, I've become a classic Diet Coke man as well, but I do love it. If I'm buying a drink in a meal deal, I'll get a Coke Zero as a treat. I don't know. There's something a bit more.
Max, mate.
I love Pepsi Max as well. Look, I prefer, if I'm being honest here, guys, I prefer full sugar Pepsi to full sugar Coke.
Thank God you were being honest. That's all I can say.
My ranking is, for the record, I feel like I've got to get it out there. Diet Coke by far. If no Diet Coke is available, I'd rather a Pepsi Max before a Coke Zero.
Yeah.
All right. And what about your full sugar drinks?
I won't drink them. I don't like them at all. It tastes too syrupy, too thick, and it gives me a bit of heartburn.
I do like them. That's why I like them. I like the syrupy flavour.
Dr. Pepper would be the only sugary one that I would maybe have a dalliance with.
And where does Dr. Pepper Zero go in your ranking?
Bottom. I'd still have those three above the Dr. Pepper Zero.
Yeah. Tom, any rankings you want to dole out about drinks? Lucasades?
Vimto is, always Vimto. It's my go-to, I'd say, out of the fizzy drinks. But, I don't drink much fizzy drinks these days. Health conscious, body's a temple and all that.
That's water only. Luke James, BBM's tinkering bailed out by Trott. We desperately need a settled centre-back pair and preferably Pysgod and Lawler until he goes to Barcelona in January. Lewis Casey, Pysgod has cemented, here it comes, his place in the starting 11, and he spelt it like the fish. That's just for the people who can't see it. I'd like to think we'll be looking back at that goal line clearance at the end of the season as our Ben Davies versus Slovakia moment. Billy, how Bellamy cannot see the value in Ruben Colwill is mental to me. The way he turns on the ball, dribbles and plays it, the way I see it, he's night and day the best footballer at our disposal. What do you boys think? Ryan, as our Welsh correspondent, what do you think of that?
Yes.
Tom?
Yeah, the more I see Wales at the moment, the more I think we need a creative spark.
Yeah.
I got where Bellamy was coming from before. I didn't see him fit in the system, but the system ain't working.
Yeah.
So
I just think he's such
All
a
right,
maverick.
carry on.
What?
What? I was just laughing at Tom saying the system ain't working. It just really tickled me.
All right. I thought there was something deeper then.
No, we're very shallow, Ryan. Carry on.
Yeah, thank you. Ruben Colwill is a great player to bring off a bench in an international football match when it's not going for you and you need a bit of something. And just that, I described him the other day on one of our podcasts as a bit like Jason Kumas in that he can just change a game and like do something mental when you need him most. So Ben's gone. On that statement, he's just decided to leave. Tom, me and you know.
It is. This could go awry.
Coup d'etat. Where do we go from here?
We've just got the dreaded loading screen with Ben. This is
gone,
late
no?
night VFTN now.
Yeah,
Here
come
we
on.
go.
VFT and no Ben. Is this the first Benless pod?
I'm back.
Oh, he's back. There we go. Fuck,
that was glory days for a split
I had
second.
nothing. Absolutely nothing.
What were you talking about?
I was going to ask you about Carmarthen then, but we'll
Nobody
we'll
wants
move on.
that.
Look, it'll be so smooth. But back to the tweet. Neil White, can we sign Trott already? Can see him going to a bigger team. Outstanding again today. Think Salak won't be given a foul all season unless the defender takes a baseball bat to him. I do worry about that with Nathan Trott, but we do have the obligation to buy should we get promoted. So let's fingers crossed. Gareth Davis, another team heading back up the M4, dazed and confused. Ella Espinola. Pysgod has to start, simple as, and we'll leave it to Alex Bennett to round off the tweets. He's just sent Pysgod as an emoji equals the GOAT as an emoji. So that's all we need to say. Twitter.com/VFT Ninian. Goatfish. I was going to talk about our fans being a bit negative, but we've kind of already talked about that. So let's look ahead to Bolton this coming weekend. It's an early kickoff, Ryan March, 12:30. Bolton are
an early start for those freaks.
Yeah, those freaks, as you did talk about that the other week. The freaks who got their Burnley tickets and were able to get their Wrexham tickets. Bolton are 7th in the league. Ryan, what do you know about them? Where do they play?
They play at the Clean Sheet Arena. Is it an arena at the moment or a stadium?
Tough Sheet Community Stadium.
Tough Sheet, not the Clean Sheet. The Tough Sheet, yeah. Well, it's going to be a clean sheet for us. I'll tell you that for nothing. I've been there once. In the FA Cup, when Fraser Campbell scored the winner, Matt Molodali made his debut, and I thought he was unbelievable, and we had the best player in the world on our hands. And that is my Bolton chat. Bring back JJ Okocha.
Where is Matt Molodali playing now, as a little aside?
Oh, he was at San Pauli for a while.
Yes.
I don't believe he's still there anymore.
From Sao Pauli, he went to Genk. From Genk, he went to Nuremberg. From Nuremberg, he's been at a club now.
Was he on trial?
No, he's back in Norway. Back in Norway
for who?
Who do you think? Name a Norwegian club that you know of that had links to Cardiff. Spot on. Both said that at the same time. It's like you practiced it. Well done, boys. Tom, you've got some stories about Bolton, haven't you? You've been there. Malky Mackay commented on your suit.
Yeah,
Bolton.
That's when I worked for the club. Went down for breakfast in the team hotel. Everyone's in their tracksuit. I was already in my suit for match day. Kicked off 5:15. That was the game where I think David Marshall nearly scored late on, but I think it came off Adam Bogdan's shoulder, I think, to save it. And I also did
I
the
haven't thought
match
about him in
report.
years.
And then I also did the match report where I was so high up in the ground, I mixed up Zat Knight and Sam Ricketts. So
They are often not seen in the same room together. There has been talk
also
that they are the same person.
Also, the best press room food I've ever had. That as well. There was a
Wow.
pie, chips, and mushy peas, and some halftime soup because it was freezing. So they were, that's my Bolton anecdotes. Got nothing left now.
I've got nothing left. It's a shame they're no longer sponsored by Reebok. I think some of Bolton's Reebok kits are up there with the most iconic. And I think if you look at their alumni, some of the players they had during that Sam Allardyce arena was unbelievable. Ivan Campo. Stelios Giannakopoulos, Fernando Hierro, I think, Real Madrid legend.
Marcus Alonso pre-car crash.
Pre-car crash. Nakata, I believe they had Nakata, Japanese international. Who else are there? Kevin Nolan. Come on, let's just name some players. Come on, keep
Kevin
going.
It really
Davis.
shows our age, this, doesn't it? Like, Bolton's
Kevin
the
Davis.
perfect club for people of our age. Of
Yeah.
like that kind of like growing up watching football.
I believe Michael Ricketts for a period of time.
Michael
before
Ricketts
he
was
then
there for a
came to
period of
Cardiff
time.
for a bit.
He did come to Cardiff for a bit. They almost signed Rivaldo, which was a
Did they?
very exciting time. Yeah, he went to I think Azerbaijan instead, which was a shame.
The classic
Similar.
decision, Bolton or Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
Djorkaeff. How have we not mentioned Djorkaeff? Yeah, I mean
Johan Elmander.
Johan Elmander.
Yeah.
What a
Scored an
striker he
unbelievable
was.
goal, didn't he, once for them?
Against Wolves.
Against Wolves, yeah.
I reckon most football podcasts when they're playing Bolton will do exactly what we've just done because it's impossible not to, isn't it, with Bolton?
Yeah, they are very much iconic for a very small period of time.
Yeah, they were. I mean, when JJ Okocha was just in his pomp,
yeah,
he was unbelievable. Anyway, they're not in their pomp anymore. They have Sam Dalby playing up front for him, who I don't think will sit within the pantheon of famous Bolton players.
No,
alongside Josh Sheehan. They've also got a couple of former Cardiff players. Tom, can you guess one of them? I say a couple. I think it's just one.
Osei Tutu?
Osei Tutu. Do. Osei Tutu.
I don't know where I plucked that from.
I can't see any other former Cardiff players. So yeah,
you really put me on the spot there. I'm really proud of myself. Actually,
I wouldn't have known that. Tom. I wouldn't have known that. Well
Tom, do the last two results for Bolton show the inconsistency of this league? They beat Huddersfield on Thursday night, 2-1. Huddersfield, obviously, big spenders in this division. Lee Grant under pressure because he doesn't believe that Alfie May, top scorer in League One last season, is a striker. But they also lost to Burton last week, 3-0. It kind of shows the inconsistencies of League One in a nutshell there, doesn't it, Tom?
Yeah, we've managed to lose to Burton as well. Not 3-0, to be fair. But yeah, like, it's so hard to predict in this league. I feel like we said this every week in the Championship as well, but League One is mad. Like some of the results, like that's why we're top, right? It's because people keep losing to teams they shouldn't lose to. And it just makes it really hard to like predict how we're going to get on against these teams, whether they're going to be a tough test or not. I feel like every time we've had a really tough test this season, it's been against a team who are lower down. Like the Leyton Orient game, the Reading game, Burton losing to them, right? They're all games we've got into going, we could put 4 past these. And then we beat Luton fairly comfortably, like Hammer, Plymouth. I know they're low in the league now, but we thought would be a tough test. So, I've given up on trying to actually do an accurate prediction. But I don't know. Would I be happy with a draw? Probably not at this stage now, because I think we're top of the league, and we've got to kind of try and start pulling away from these teams.
Yeah, Ryan, they are 7th in the league, so they're knocking on the door of the playoffs. Stephen Schumacher's a pretty good manager at this level. I think he's had to kind of uproot a few players, and there's been a bit of upheaval after the playoff debacle of last season under Ian Evatt. But 7th in the league, they're on knocking on the door of the playoffs. It feels like these are the kind of games that will show how far we've come under BBM, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely... Yeah, it's definitely where you sort of find your level a bit. They're a bit of a perennial playoff team at this level, and they always get tipped to sort of do something and go up. And just needed a sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you very much. But they're always thereabouts, and they've got a team is stacked full of like League One experience as well. So yeah, if we can go there, get a result, I'll be very positive about our chances going forward. If we don't, I don't think it's the end of the world either. But yeah, I fancy us. I think we've been better against the better sides this season, barring the Stockport game, I think.
And we're better away from home, as everyone knows.
We're better away from home. Are you going, Ben?
Yeah. I'm 50-50 at the moment. Got some stuff on this week that means I might not be able to travel. But I would like to go. I've got my Wrexham ticket though, so hopefully going to Wrexham. Are you going, Ryan?
I need to find out if I've got a ticket. I will find out soon, but I would like to be there.
Tom, you going to Bolton?
I wish, mate. No, it's the talk of the town in Melbourne, so I'm sure I'll find somewhere to watch it.
What time is kickoff for you?
All right, it's an early kickoff, so 10:30, I think. Unless when are the clocks moving at home? Let's do a bit of admin, shall we? Is that the week after?
I think it's the week after. I think it's the last
We're
weekend
good.
of October.
10:30 it is then. Lovely time.
I could be wrong though. I'm terrible at clocks going forward or back. Maybe it is next Sunday.
Tweet in if you know.
Yeah, tweet in if you know. Twitter.com/VFT Ninian. Ryan, give us your prediction.
3-0 Cardiff City.
Whoa, Tom.
I was going to say exactly the same thing, so I will. 3-0 Cardiff City.
And I'm not going to say that. I'm going to go 2-1 Cardiff City. I can see us conceding, but I can see us scoring another goal more than them. That's the reality of it. So 2-1 to us. And will it be Will Fish in defence, Ryan?
I hope so. Bring the Pysgod. Justice for the Pysgod.
Justice for Pysgod. Tom, any other changes you'd make? Alex Robertson coming in?
No, I'd probably start Callum Robinson, I think, in this game. That's really off-putting that. For the audio listeners, it's going to make no sense whatsoever. But there we go. You really.
If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'd like to see Robinson have a run out in this game. I think his energy would be like a real asset to us. But I don't think Will Fish will start either.
During the course of the pod, I've sent the title to Ben Price, so he's made the graphics already, and the title is "Holding with Pysgod like catch of the day," and the photo is someone holding Will Pysgod like a fish. You'll all get to see it when you download the pod, and Ryan, I'll send it to you after this because otherwise it doesn't make much sense. Ryan, it's Sunday morning. What are you doing with the rest of your day?
Oh, it's a bleak old day in our nation's capital. So I don't really know what I'm going to do. I've got a washing basket that is stacked. So I think I'll be doing a bit of house admin. The cat's litter tray needs changing, so probably going to do that. So it's a really vintage. Might go to the pub later because I believe there's is it Man United Liverpool later? I don't know. I don't know what goes on in that there English Premier League. But I might pop out to see some pals and just while the day away before another big week on the digital content coalface.
Tom, big week on digital content coalface for you, I assume, but also what time is it out there now? At midnight.
What time is it actually? It's 9:20. I've got into doing my family tree again. I'd like to say congratulations to my gran who won the relay in Johnstown Primary School in the 40s. Didn't know that until I saw the newspaper report on Ancestry.com. So I'll have to give her a ring tomorrow.
Yeah. I think she needs to know. Beautiful stuff, really. Well, what am I doing? Thanks for asking, boys.
What are you doing on your Sunday?
Got to go buy some new saucepans. Really saucy. Our saucepans have taken a battering over the last few weeks, so I'm going to go buy a new set of saucepans.
Is that where you still got on your Thursday to clap Boris? Do you with your saucepans?
Yeah, I go at 8 o'clock. People look out the window going, "Who is that? What is he clapping?"
Oh, fucking Ben from down the roads with his saucepans again, clapping for reform or whatever he's doing.
Oh, Benny saucepans, Benny saucepan. That's what I'm doing today. So it's really exciting. I hope everyone else is having a good Monday because you'll be listening to this on Monday. Thank you for watching. If you watch on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you're following us and listening via audio, please drop us a review, 5 stars or nothing. If you like what we do, kofi.com/VFT, then you can give us some money because we need money. Money's good. Ryan owes us money. That's why he's here. We're actually paid this week. So,
I did pay you, you freaking idiot.
Yeah. So much admin.
So much admin at the end of the pod. We'll be back after the Bolton game next week and looking ahead to the Wrexham Cup game. Come on, boys. See you then.
Tommy Couse, I'm going to fucking have you.